In Dnipropetrovsk region, Ukrainian counterattacks have begun to blunt a slow Russian push and are now forcing a rethink of Moscow's east to west axis. The fighting is concentrated around two core battles that together will decide whether Russian gains translate into an operational breakthrough or Ukrainians can form a shield defending the open fields of a new Oblast. Euromaidan Press media outlet says the main Russian goal in this sector is to secure ground inside the Dnipropetrovsk region that can be used as bargaining leverage in any future negotiations and, if possible, to press westward toward Zaporizhzhia city from the east. Securing villages and staging areas across the administrative border would let Russian leadership claim forward momentum and create lines on the map that could be traded politically, while also opening avenues for follow-on mechanized advances if Ukrainian lines collapse. Notably, Ukrainian defense belts in the Zaporizhzhia and Dnipropetrovsk regions are primarily oriented to resist assaults coming from the south and the southwest. Therefore, pushing from the east allows Russian units to attempt to outflank prepared positions and exploit seams in local defenses. However, it is important to note that at their fastest point, Russian forces only advanced roughly 6 kilometers locally in 1 month. While this is faster than in all other sectors, it is still far from short of operational maneuver speed. As two battles now define the immediate fighting, Euromaidan Press says, in the north, Zelenyi Hai has been a grinding fight for months as Russian forces repeatedly attack into the village to establish a foothold that would serve as a launchpad for further assaults. Primarily, Russian forces seek to use the settlement to move into 3 larger settlements of Havrylivka, Ivanivka, and Novopavlivka, whose dispersed buildings are a prime target for Russian infiltrators to accumulate in. Still, Ukrainian defenders have turned every attempt into a costly affair. As a result, any incremental territorial gains by Russian units that manage to evade Ukrainian drones are consistently reduced and contested, as Ukrainian defenders hold the most ideal defensive position in the current sector, unwilling to give it up. To the south, where Russian forces have started advancing rapidly through a series of tree lines, Ukrainian counterattacks have recaptured Sosnivka, Vorone, and several nearby hamlets. These counterattacks were preceded by an intense coordinated artillery barrage, suppressing and eliminating Russian infantry moving unprotected in the open. Overall, Ukrainian counterattacks in the Velyka Novosilka axis have so far done what they were designed to do: blunt forward momentum, recapture key villages, and prevent Russian staging zones from becoming secure bases of operations. However, these operations go much further than tactical displays of an active defense, as it has bought Ukrainians, drone units in particular, the necessary time to set up and start conducting operations. Euromaidan Press says, with the mud season approaching, the low-lying river area will soon turn into deep mud, and the limited road networks into devastating kill zones for Ukrainian drones to wreak havoc onto.
U.S. First Lady Melania Trump says 8 children have been reunited with their families after ongoing talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Melania Trump in August wrote a letter to Putin and had her husband hand-deliver it during his meeting with the Russian president in Alaska. Putin's invasion of Ukraine has resulted in Russia taking Ukrainian children out of their country so that they can be raised as Russian. The First Lady, speaking to reporters at the White House on Friday, said that Putin responded to her letter and after that, they had established an open channel of communication regarding the welfare of those children. "We have agreed to cooperate with each other for the benefit of all people involved in this war," she said. The Associated Press documented the grabbing of Ukrainian children in 2022, after which the International Criminal Court said it had issued an arrest warrant for Putin for war crimes, accusing him of personal responsibility for the abductions of children from Ukraine.
Good morning. A child's soul knows no borders, no flags. We must foster a future for our children, which is rich with potential, security, and complete with free will. A world where dreams will be realized rather than faded by war. Much has unfolded since President Putin received my letter last August. He responded in writing, signaling a willingness to engage with me directly and outlining details regarding the Ukrainian children residing in Russia. And since then, President Putin and I have had an open channel of communication regarding the welfare of these children. For the past 3 months, both sides have participated in several back-channel meetings and calls, all in good faith. We have agreed to cooperate with each other for the benefit of all people involved in this war. My representative has been working directly with President Putin's team to ensure the safe reunification of children with their families between Russia and Ukraine. In fact, 8 children have been rejoined with their families during the past 24 hours. Each child has lived in turmoil because of the war in Ukraine. 3 were separated from their parents and displaced to the Russian Federation because of frontline fighting. The other 5 were separated from family members across borders because of the conflict, including 1 young girl who has now been reunited from Ukraine to Russia. I have learned a lot about this matter during the past 3 months. Russia has demonstrated a willingness to disclose objective and detailed information reflective for the current situation.